End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radio Land. A day of nothing but classic radio shows, back-to-back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radio Land.
We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russell program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russell program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russell program on GJRB.
Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The weird, the strange, the bizarre. Way Out Fun, Way Out There. Another show coming soon on GJRB Online.
One of my favorite instrumentals. Well, this sticks out in my mind because there's the people saw the radio all the time. This is incredible piece of instrumental music. It is. It's fabulous. Yeah. Bumble Boogie. Yeah. Welcome back to Way Out There on GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Russell with you. And, of course, this is Freestyle Friday. And we're also doing nonstop talk around past 3:30 here on GJRB. And also, being this is Freestyle Friday, I got a royal treat for you. We're going to skip that 3:30 break. I'm not going to do the 3:30 break. I'm going to be staying on the air nonstop from now on. It's just going to be one after another. Boom, boom, boom. This is part 2. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check and see if I've got some listeners in part 2. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to see what kind of listeners I got. See if I got anybody on. Let's see. I'm going to go to our Spreaker now. I'm going to get in there and see if I have any listeners at all. Let's go in there. Let's see what we get here. 0 this part. We are in part 2 right now. We're going to go into part 3, part 4, nonstop, especially when JM comes on. Because when JMG Board comes on, we're going to go nonstop. It's going to be nonstop talk. Yeah, I do 45, 50, and even 60 minutes of nonstop talk. 1 hour of nonstop talk today. I was going to do 50. I had it on my log rundown for this show, on my script rundown for 50, okay, which I had down here. where the dream analyst is. Okay, where my dream analyst is after 3:30. Sitting here because I have him on. I have JM DeBoard coming in around 3:30. So at that point, wherever I would have the Fox News, wherever I have my break locally, I am going to skip that break. Yep, it's going to be totally nonstop. We're just going to roll with it. It's just going to be no holds barred. It's going to be freestyle all the rest of the way. When we go out, we come right back up. That's simple. We're in part 2 right now. Live part 2. No listeners so far, but I did have 2 in part 1. Did have 2 in part 1, so that's a good thing. I wonder who those were. 2 people are listening to part 1. So I am tempted to get some listeners, but you guys who were listening in part 1, please come back because you might want to know about your dreams. Okay? So please come back. It's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about dream interpretations with J.M. DeBoard. He wrote a book, 2 of them actually. One is called the 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I have to go back up there again and get that so that I can mark that in my notes. He wrote a book. He wrote 2 books. He sent me a e-copy of it, but unfortunately I cannot open it. I have to get some kind of Adobe Reader to open it. But it was his dream dictionary. He wrote dreams 1, 2, 3. Remember, interpret, and live your dreams, and the dream dictionary. And he's going to be on in just about a little over 40, let's see, it's 2:53 now, 8 minutes to the hour. Long about 2:50, about 35, maybe 40 some odd minutes. He will be joining us via Skype. And we're going to be talking about dreams. It's going to be cool. Looking forward to that. And got a lot of really good stuff on there. Some really good questions that I was asking, but I have a few of my own. One of them is a real interesting question I thought was kind of cool. What I thought this could be. There is a research going on in Japan right now in which person can record dream imagery. It could be kind of an invasion of privacy in a way, wouldn't you think? Recording dream imagery for doing it from another person. But if you're going to do it for yourself, it wouldn't be so bad, right? And it could record it like a VCR would record or a camcorder would record a birthday or a celebration. Think about that. What if you could record the dreams you've had? Not that you want to, but a thought-provoking thing there. What if you could do that? Wow. What a thought. Out. But anyway, we'll talk about that throughout the afternoon. In just a little over a half an hour, we'll have them on. J.M. DeBoard. Non-stop talk. 60 minutes worth on Way Out There on GJRB. All right, well, let's see what other interesting things we got coming. It's a mystery of a white moose. We talked about that one. And we got more strange but true, including a home security system of a family in New Mexico captured footage of a strange anomaly that they suspected could be a ghost. They were eating dinner at around Tuesday evening, and Brianna Hernandez, his husband, looked out over the camera monitor, stunned to see what looked like a glowing oddity on the screen. A weird one which resembled a kind of a being which quickly scampering behind cars in their driveway. And there's a video of that, and I will going to find it. And when we do the Gary Rustin program video show, my video show, which is coming up next month, we're going to have another video show. Remember the one we did the first time? It's going to be a better show. I'm working on that one. Coming up, the Gary Rustin video show on a live YouTube stream, I will show you that video. You could see it. You could see it. It's a weird looking thing. No joke. And we're going to show you that. And recently, vets in Cape Town were surprised to see what looked like a werewolf cat. Now, I have a picture of that one that I'll show you too. This thing looks like a werewolf. It does. It's the weirdest looking cat you've ever seen in your whole life. It's a werewolf cat. It was abandoned in a litter of kittens, officially named for its rare breed of feline, Lykoi, L-Y-K-O-I, Lykoi, and it was only been recognized since 2011. Groups of Lykoi have been said to have a pack. They're in a pack mentality. They're wolves, but once they get close to a human, they are friendly. They don't want to hurt you, but they are a werewolf cat. It looks like a werewolf, folks. No joke. This is the oddest looking cat you've ever seen. I mean, I was looking at that thing and going, wow. I don't know. Anybody would have that as a pet? You imagine one of those kind of like napping with you in the afternoon. You look at, werewolf. Werewolves of London. Or werewolf cat of London. I don't know. I just went, okay. That didn't work. Anyway, if I do have I don't know, we'll see my wife. Sometimes she always calls with those interesting jokes. But anyway, this is Way Out There on GJRB Online on Spreaker. I'm Gary J. Rustin. I'm glad to be here. A Freestyle Friday edition. By the way, this will be our last show for a while. I'm going to be taking a hiatus break. Not a long one, about a week. And building up programming. And by the way, I'm going to be changing the name. We were calling this the sporadic schedule for the whole summer. Okay? We've been calling this sporadic schedule for the whole summer. But coming up for the fall, I am changing the name. Because what we do is I build up programming and then I air it. Kind of like a gun shoots off, right? You know, you load it up and then you fire it off. That's what we're doing. Kind of loading up programming and firing it off. So I decided to change the name. Yeah, I decided to change the name. I'm going to change it from Sporadic Schedule to Lock and Load. I like the name of that. The GJRB Lock and Load radio schedule starting this spring on GJRB. Yeah. I'm going to play that when I introduce my guest. Yeah, I like this. The applause is just tremendous. Yeah. So, Lock and Load radio schedule this fall on GJRB Online. It's going to crank it up around September 4th when we're back on the air for the Positive Rock Show. It started at 12 o'clock noon that day, 11 Mountain and 10 Pacific, with our CCF church services from September 3rd. And then right after that, at around a little after that's over, I come on the air live and or play some Christian rock for a while. And around 2 o'clock, we go live with a Positive Rock Show. I've got some new emerging Christian rock artists to play for you, and preview the artist showcase featuring the music of Samuel Day, and he was a guest back about 2 months ago. And finally getting that show together, Sam. So come on up and listen to that. It's going to be pretty good. That's coming up right here on GJRB Online September for Artist Showcase. It's a podcast, and it'll be uploaded on the GJRB Spreaker podcast site probably about mid-month. So once I get that edited and together, it's going to be ready for upload, and I'll have it on middle of September. Okay, middle of September, so be aware of that. Alrighty. This is Way Out There on GJRB Online. It's 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock East, 1 o'clock Pacific, and you're listening to Way Out There on GJRB Online. In just about a half hour, J.M. DeBoard will be on the air with us, and he's going to talk about dreams, and just about half an hour from now, unless he decides to come early, that'd be good too. We're going to do non-stop talk pretty much through the rest of the program, if that's the case. So we're going to be having him on. Looking forward to it. And it's going to be really fun to have one of George Norrie's guests on our program here on GJRB Online. Just got a notice on the corner end, bottom right hand of the computer, that he is now online on Skype right now. So, great. Just about getting ready for that. And talking about dreams here on Way Out There, the strange, the bizarre, the unusual, even the things that are unexplained like that. And we've got it right here on GGRB Online, complete. So we're going to stick around, and it's going to be nonstop all the way. No news breaks, not that many promo breaks, because right now, being this is the last show for a while, while I build up programming, I've kind of slimmed down on my promos, not playing as much as I usually do, because when we get to the end of a season is what I was calling it, but it's really a block of programming. Usually by the time I get down to the end of the block programming, I kind of cut down on the promos a little bit, because there's no need to run promos for programs that are, and the month is almost over. We're pretty much at the end of August, heading into September, and so we're kind of leave it at that. So, there you go. And it's a good thing. Oh, by the way, speaking of promotions, for people who follow me on Facebook, you might be seeing this every once in a while posted. I have been trying to start a page on Facebook for GJRB, and I managed to pull it off. I did, but I need an administrator. Now, I thought for sure that I could be my own administrator, which is really what I like to do, but I might just see, then I might give it to my wife to administer. But basically, I'm using it to promote GJRB programming, getting shows on, promote some of the stuff we got on the air, and various things like that, promote some of the stuff we've got going on, some of the ideas I've got coming up. I've got bluegrass music coming up in September, the return of Bluegrass Jubilee. I've been promising all summer that we're going to bring back the blues, because that's another one of my favorite kinds of music, with the Blues House. That's going to come back this fall. We're going to bring back the Blues House. And I'm also going to bring back that. And now, remember I was telling you that, I don't know, maybe I didn't tell you, that on alternate weeks we were going to do the show called Crooners, where I play Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Eddie Fisher, all those great singers from the Golden Age, crooners. And Gary J's radio, television, and movie classics. And I put it in like an alternate week where, some months just don't have that extra week. And that means that show won't always be on. I want that on more often. So I've decided to push that show into the second week of the month. So every second week of the month, we're going to have radio, television, and movie classics. And I'm working on this next one. It's a good show. I'm looking to see what show I'm going to profile yet. I haven't decided what classic TV show, rare TV show that hasn't been on for a while, profile. I'm working on that one. The one I am was going to work on was one show that kind of fizzled at the start, and I know why. And that was the Andy Griffith Show. And we're going to talk about that. Remember when they had the new Andy Griffith show? It was set in kind of like a Mayberry town. It looked like Mayberry. As a matter of fact, you could see where the old sheriff station was. Well, they had another show in which he was married to, he had a wife. He had, I think, a boy and a girl, if not mistaken. And his wife was played by what's her name? He used to be on Batman and Lee Merriweather. And it was a short-lived series. I'm going to do a real piece on that because what was really strange about that is that Don Knotts made an appearance as Barney Fife, I think. And it was kind of an oddball episode, and because he wasn't really Andy Taylor. So it's one of those things that's kind of strange. But we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Bring back Kids Corner, which is my list of classic Saturday morning cartoons. We'll talk about those again. And I'm going to bring back Americana, which was and is no more. Haven't done that in a while. Got a lot of stuff on my Pinterest. So stay with us for that. That coming in a month. So we'll talk about that later on. But meanwhile, it's time to get back to the strange, the bizarre, on Way Out There on GJRB Online. So to get away from our programming for a little bit, we want to get back into some of those oddball things that we were talking about. This segment, I don't have it ready yet, so I'm going to see it real quick because I'm not sure if I really should. Let's see here. I'm going to change over and talk about. Let me see if I even have my notes to that. The story regarding Atlantis. You know, the lost continent. You know, a lot of people wonder whatever happened to that continent. You know, if it fizzled. But I really don't know. You know, we got him coming up here in about 22 minutes. So I'm thinking what I might do with that story about Atlantis again is hold it over for our next Way Out There, because he's going to be coming on here real soon. So what I'm going to do is skip that story one more time, and then I will bring it back on another Way Out There. So I'll do the Atlantis bit later on. I was going to do that was held over from the last Way Out There. So I'm going to put it away one more time, and we'll do it I'm going to do that another time. So that story on Atlantis we'll do on our next show. Okay. So I decided what I'll do instead is visit Linda Moulton Howe's Earth Files and see what kind of interesting stories she has on her site today. I like Linda Moulton Howe, and I like a lot of her stuff. Maybe someday I'll try to persuade her to be a guest on here. That'd be kind of an interesting thing. I would be cool if we could do that. Well, think about it. Meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the interesting stories she has on here. From August 18th, part 1 of a detective story. Private detectives encounter non-humans. Okay, I don't know if I want that. Let's see what other stories we got here. Look at that thing. That's mysterious micron layers. Alternate. Oh, I don't want that. Let's go down a bit. I don't know. There's some interesting stories on here today. It doesn't be too much. She does have a show called Phenomenon, which is a World Wide Web store. It's on Thursday nights, 5 to 7 Pacific, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Live from KGRA. I'm going to have to listen to that sometime. KGRA. I should really consider that one of my GJRB affiliates, huh? KGRA. Linda Moulton Howe's Earth Files. Located in Idaho. Total eclipse Monday. I wonder how she covered that one. That was on a YouTube channel. I should have watched hers. She probably would have better. I was just so disappointed in that darn solar eclipse. I saw nothing of it. It was just like, all it was washed out. Like, all day it looked washed out. And it was like really the oddest thing I have ever seen in my whole life. And then like around 2 o'clock, I think, something like that, about maybe close to 2, I was working on some production in here, and it just suddenly got brighter. You knew that it was over right away. Wow. I mean, just, I decided I just would like to go to Land of Totality next time. I'm just going to take a trip. Here's a good one. This is funny. Clowns only. They're doing a clowns only screaming, yeah. Clowns only. Now let's just see where this is at. They're gonna do a screening of the new movie It. They remade the Stephen King movie It. They're making a special screening. It's drawing protest, and I don't know exactly where this is located. I'm gonna look here. It's Alamo Village Draft House. Let me see where this is being located. September 7th. This will be held on September 7th at Mercy Jones of the American Association for Coulrophobe, Courophobe, Coulrophobes, I guess. Launching a petition. These are people, I think, who have a fear of, and I have to see if that pronunciation is even right, a fear of clowns. Launching a petition asking fans to boycott this event, clearly designed to oppress good Americans with a legitimate fear of clowns. This is a real affliction, and the event is now being produced by the Alamo Draft House and will have negative repercussions. Now, I saw the trailer to this. This is a new It. They remade it. Of course, we got these people who can't leave movies from the 80s alone for some reason. I don't know why. Just don't understand it. They have to sit there and, again, remake another movie. Like, why are we doing this? And why are we making another movie about, this Pennywise, Did he freak you out? Think about it. Now, I'm going to ask JM about this because this is kind of a thing where Pennywise was a little nasty in this movie. I don't know about this new one, but I knew the original one played by Jim Carrey, which I've seen twice. And I think he does mess with people's dreams. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that worked, but I know he does various things like that. But I think he does kind of mess with people's dreams, and that not as much as like Freddy Krueger, or any one of those that gets in the dreams. But Freddy Krueger was good for it. But I'm not sure if Pennywise did it or not. I don't know, but they are looking to do is a lot of people, because look, they are remaking this movie. Now the final trailer for the Stephen King It, and the latest TV spot brings Pennywise home. Events like this encourage the epidemic of clowns stalking and harassing people, which began last year. Remember that? Remember the clowns, the crazy clowns? And it really took a lot of people. I know a guy who is a friend of mine here on Facebook, and he is my wife's ex-husband, and he is a clown. And, a lot of people like that who do clowning for a living were kind of really upset about this because it ruined what they did that was positive, with kids. And now these clowns are stalking, and it ruined what clowns were representing with kids, because now kids are afraid of clowns. The man responsible for the causing of the outbreak of coulrophobia, that's how I pronounce it. In the 1980s, Alamo was ashamed that he was asking all people in good conscience to unite against the dangers of this un-American event. They're having an IT party. Attendees can arrive dressed as a clown in order to attend. They arrive early and join them for a barrel of fun beginning at 5:30 p.m. for the IT pre-party. And then they will have a face painting available for clowns, touch-ups, photo booth, raffles for prizes, and other terrifying merriment. You can arrive on your own, Pennywise best, and be ready to float with us. Celebrating the release of the remake of It. The movie, the original one, I think was a TV movie, I believe. This one's going to the theaters, but the original one, I believe, was a TV movie. And I've seen it a couple of times. Big stars in it. I know one of them. I know a couple of them. John Ritter was in it. Let me see who else was in it. John Ritter. Richard Thomas had a role in it. Can't remember, like a bunch of stars were in the original version. Real good movie, but scary. I got to tell you, the I don't know about this one, but the original one was pretty darn scary. Well produced, well put together film. For a scary movie, this movie was well done. Stephen King film. And I gotta say, I've seen it a half a dozen times when it ran on Sci-Fi once, and I know it ran on a few other channels once. A real good movie. So I don't know if anybody's seen that. Real good movie. So we'll see if we can talk about that with our guest later here in just about. Let's see, 21 minutes. No, less than that. About 12 minutes, actually. 12 minutes. 12 minutes to JM here on GJRB. On the Way Out There show. The strange, the bizarre, the unusual. Things that go bump in the night. And, of course, things that are strange like dreams. That, definite. And let's see. I want to do something here before I do bring him on. I'm going to do another Weather on the Fives here in about 6 more minutes and get that ready. And then we'll do kind of a little short promo break. But we're not going to go... I'm not going to go to my local signal. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do anything on the local signal at all at this point. Let me check and see if I have anything. Oh, I do have something going there, so I'm going to stop it because I'm not going to do it anyway. So no local signal, no local weather, nothing there. I'll do a local weather forecast and weather in the fives real quick. So just to let you know, no local break. We're going to stay on the air and we're going to continue broadcasting here on Way Out There, here on GJRB Online, because just about 11 minutes from now, we will have J.M. DeBoard joining us for a conversation, and we're going to be talking about dreams here on Way Out There, here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And by the way, I'm going to tell, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I thought, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to suggest that J.M. get an account on Spreaker, because what better place to do a podcast about dreams? What a place to have a consistent podcast of dreams and have a consistent following. Spreaker. And if you are like me and love radio, he's going to call in 5 minutes. Okay, he's going to call in 5 minutes. And anyway, what better way to have a podcast? If you are especially in dreams and you want to have a podcast, you could do an hour. I think you could do up to 2-3 hours podcast if you get Spreaker, an account. If you're like me and love radio and love doing radio, and you never really got a break on radio locally like I have, I almost did. But if you want to do radio, this is the place to do it. Spreaker. Now all you got to do is get an account. You go in there, you get an account, and well, you know, your free account is you only can broadcast for 15 minutes. I suggest you get a premium. Because with a premium, and the lowest one you can get, the good cheapest price is like about $49. Well, let's see if I got the Spreaker here. I'll pull that up. I'm going to pull my site up anyway real quick, see if I got any hits. Let's see. Anybody any hits? Let's check. So far, Zip. Hope that changes. Here we go. Lowest price, the cheapest price for Air Talent is $5.99 a month. Now I'm paying $49, I believe. No, not $49. $5. Well, I'm paying each month. It goes out, and that's the Air Talent plan. Gives me 45 minutes of recorded time, storage of 100 hours. It's great. I mean, I suggest you get this. Now, Broadcaster, you get more, like 3 hours for $19, well, about $20 a month. For $49, you get Anchorman. That gives you 5 hours. And if you are super rich and have a lot of chunk of change to spend, you can fork over $119 a month and get 24 hours of unlimited broadcasting. Well, if you get 24 hours of unlimited broadcasting, for I understand, you don't really get a podcast. I like to have my podcast after my show's over so people can listen longer. If they miss a show, they can catch it. You know, so I like the 45-minute plan. I suggest that you just go on there and start an account. Spreaker. Spelled like speaker, only there's an R in there. Spreaker. Spreaker. And broadcast to the world. And not only that, you get a real nice desktop app. You download it, and it's got a real nice mixer on it. I use it all the time. It's my studio mixer, and it's an incredible thing because I can broadcast on this thing, and I can continue to broadcast on this thing. All I got to do is, when it's over, all I do is reload. That's simple. All I do is just hit. I have a page where I reload my programs. It's like my title page. And I have all my shows typed up in there with a synopsis, and I change it. It's interchangeable. And all I do is go in there and copy my, it'll say The Way Out There Part 3. And then when it's over, I go in there and then I paste it and then go back on. And usually I do a synopsis within the program, but I'm hoping that people are listening. And I try to set it up that way so that people who are listening can tune in. So what I'll do is I'll go into my copy link and hit that, and then I'll go into social sites and promote the show while I'm on the air live, so that people who are listening to the program, or if you're on social sites at the same time I'm on, they can they can pick up the program. They know where it's at. You know, I just go in there and I'll just copy paste it to my listeners page, but where I have my listener group. But I also have a new one, which I am the administrator of, but I can paste my program there. I can go into various places and put the show so that people can listen, and, you know, that's how that works. It's really cool. And I've had it for some time, and I love this thing. I mean, I've been doing this since 2012. So if that tells you anything. Okay, I think we've got ourselves a call, so let's take it. Okay. Let's take it. Microphone's on. Let's see here. Yep. Microphone on.
Hello, Gary.
Yeah, how you doing?
Unfortunately, I do not hear you.
Oh, you don't hear me? Okay, let me see if I can turn this up just a little bit. How's that? Crank up my board. I don't want to over... Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I don't hear you, Gary.
Okay, I'm going to try
I can see you.
Huh? Okay, tell you what, I'm going to turn my microphone down just a little bit and see if I can talk a little closer to my mic. How's that? Still can't hear me. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Let me see if I can do something about that. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to go to my V cable here for a minute and see if that works. Unfortunately, he's not hearing me. Unfortunately. Oh, boy.
Hey, Gary, hold up your fingers if you hear me.
I hear you.
I'm not hearing anything back from you.
Oh, boy. Let me see. Let's see.
When I connected to your live broadcast earlier, I didn't get any audio either.
Oh, boy.
Like, I was listening to it through my computer, and there wasn't any audio.
Oh, my. And I thought I was coming in. Let me see here. Touch some buttons. How's that? Any better?
I'll let you know if I hear your voice.
Okay. Oh, boy. I've been, oh, no. Don't do this to me. Okay. I've touched some buttons. I'm going to bring this up. How's that? I turned up something here.
Nothing yet, brother.
Oh, man. I'm going to... Whoa. Okay, I turned up my speaker a little bit. How's that? Because I'm running through the computer speakers. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see why I'm not being heard. Okay, why am I not being heard? You still hear... I'm turning it up all the way. You still hear me? Oh, boy. Okay, let me check and see if I can... where is it? I'm going to activate something here. Let me say front mic.
Okay. There we go. Now I hear you.
Okay, I know what it was. I didn't have my front mic on. There's a setting on here that tells you how to automatically adjust your settings and everything. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right, brother. You've got a lot of power going through your mic there. You might want to roll it back just a little bit.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
See, what I do is I have a little 9-foot FM signal that goes within a neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And if we'd be lucky if people pick it up on their car radios as they're going by, because only you can sit in the parking lot and listen to the FM signal, but once you leave it, it goes out. It's kind of
right.
I love using a mini FM signal. It just kind of make it about as close as I'll ever get to being on a radio station, terrestrial.
Hey, I feel you. When I was in high school, I used to be. We were on a 10-watt station at our school. And you could pick it up maybe 5-10 miles away, but it was just 10 watts, but it was still a thrill. You know that there are at least a few people out there listening to you, and whether or not whether or not anyone's actually listening, you're getting a chance to get on the radio, so it's cool.
Yeah, and I have. I used to. I went to Ohio. I used to live in Cleveland, and I did a school radio station there. Called the Ohio School of Broadcasting, and that's where I got my first training. I took 2 broadcasting courses, and unfortunately, I just didn't get anywhere with it for some reason. I don't know why. It just never worked out. I don't know. But anyway, welcome to the show. This is an honor to have a guest that George Norrie has. I mean, this is just absolutely fabulous. And thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Gary. Yeah, I've been on George's show twice on Coast to Coast AM, and both times to talk about dreams. So This is a subject that I love to talk about, and I'm happy to be here today to talk with you about it.
He's my hero, as a matter of fact. He is. He's one of my radio heroes, and you can tell him I said so.
Maybe he's listening right now.
Oh, you never know. I don't know. I have some zeros. I got some zips on my, because it'll tell me if there's anybody listening on my screen.